Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb. Welcome to the ARTyRV channel. We're so excited. It's Valentine's week.
Yes, it is, Barb. It's Valentine's week, so happy Valentine's week to all of our viewers out there. And thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a good show. Last week was a great show with all the
Yes.
viewer showcase and the giveaways. That was awesome.
It was fun. It sure was fun. And tonight we're going to be doing a Q&A, a glass chat, and a glass cutting demo. And welcome everyone. We've got people here tonight from Montana, Michigan, Canada, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, go Eagles, and Minnesota, Long Island, and Pennsylvania, go Eagles.
That's right. That's right. Wow, that was a surprise. I was chit-chatting with our good friend Wayne Fitzgerald up in Hatboro last night, and we were like, every time Philly got a touchdown, we were like, whoa, did you see that? Oh wow, oh my. So he was having fun with his family, and Barb and I and our grandson were sitting here watching the game here, enjoying some snacks.
And that's my hometown, Philadelphia.
That's right.
Yay. Okay, my father would have loved to see the Phillies win.
Yeah, see the Eagles win
Would
for
have been
sure.
a highlight for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what else have you got going on? Maybe we should tell people who we are and what we do.
Well,
We
this
may
is
have
Barb.
some newcomers. Well, who we are. We are artists from Conway Glass, located here in Conway, South Carolina.
Yep.
We've been here since 1980. Well, we've been in business since 1986. And we have a little stained glass shop here in town. And we teach classes.
Right.
We also do stained glass commissions.
We do public art. We have a glass blowing studio here in our little town of Conway, South Carolina, and so within that we do public art. We teach glass blowing classes. Excuse me. But we also teach stained glass classes, and we do our class schedule quarterly. So we start out on the quarter with a beginner stained glass, and then we go to a lead class the following month. And then after that, we go to what we call a make and take. So those of you that are interested in just learning the fabrication process, that's a great class for everyone, I think. So
Yes, and Ed has a cutting and soldering. Is that what
Weekend,
it is? Weekend,
yes.
where it's a intense concentration on cutting and soldering. You'll do cutting on Saturday, soldering on Sunday, and
and I think you'll learn a lot. I really do, because it's pretty intensive, and we only take 5 people in that class.
I think we have one more availability on that.
And that's what, March 8th and 9th? Is that correct, Barb?
I think so. There's so many classes on there. I know that there's an availability. I know that there's also March availability for the flower class.
Oh yeah, for our it's actually, we call it the flower class, but you work in the glass blowing studio, and we sculpt out of molten glass a flower, and I'm there to assist you and make sure that you don't get burned. And we had a class actually yesterday, Sunday, right, Barb? Yeah, we had a flower class yesterday. It was full. Everybody had a great time, and we'll get some pics, and Barbara can post those on our Facebook page, I think, once we get them. Because we got to unpack them tomorrow, and they're coming to pick them
Or
up.
on the website. And you can find out about classes at conwayglass.com. That's where our classes are listed.
That's right. Hey, everybody, Ray's in the house tonight. Let's give him a big thumbs up. He works a lot harder for us than you guys think that he does. And Ray, just remember, guy, we appreciate everything that you do.
Yes. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. So, hey, if you have a question tonight, you just put it in the chat, but put a Q in front of it so that it's easier for Barb to pick it up, and because we don't want to miss your questions. And
Susan said yes, March 8th and 9th for the intensive cutting and soldering
right, and
class.
we're looking forward to that too.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So if you love our content, consider sending a super chat. Your support helps us create even more awesome videos and live streams.
It does.
So plus we'll give you a shout out and concentrate on your question. And thank you guys. Let's keep those good vibes going.
That's right. Keep everything coming. And, just remember, so 2 things tonight is when we grow, or then you grow. and we can grow together. And the other thing I'd like everybody to remember is that when it all comes down to it, all we have is each other. So don't ever forget that.
Samara Jarish, she must be from Philly too. I get that. She said, I knew there was a reason she liked me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Barbara was born in a snowstorm.
Yes, Jefferson Hospital many, many, many years ago.
Not that long ago.
Many years ago.
Okay, don't do too many minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I was almost born on the Ben Franklin Bridge.
Almost.
Almost.
It was right there.
In a taxi cab. My father loved to tell that story.
Yeah, he did.
Tim has a question.
Hey, Tim, thanks for tuning in tonight.
Question. My first bigger project is 18 inches by 18 inches with 70 pieces, using 1/2 inch zinc cane around the outside edge and solder interior, no lead. Any additional support needed?
On a window that size, probably not, unless you're going to put it in a door. And I believe since you're using zinc around the outside, that's going to make that window plenty rigid enough. Just be careful. It's always nice to not hang your windows from the zinc. I saw a couple things the other day that I was like, uh-oh. But anyway, I just, those things, what I prefer to do is whether you're putting it in zinc, guys, or you're putting lead around the outside, put it into a wooden frame. And unless it's going in it's fitting somewhere specifically, and then of course your molding is going to hold everything up. But it is so much nicer rather than to hang your window from a piece of zinc and to put it in a wooden frame and then hang it. And that way you never have to worry about it. I get so many windows in the shop because they've got zinc around them and they attach the hanger to the zinc. And the hanger comes off, and now the window falls and it breaks, and then we have to repair it and change it. But I always put my customer's window when they bring it to me. After I repair it, we put it in a frame for them. So use the wooden frame either way. I think that's just my suggestion.
Yes.
But as far as reinforcing, unless it's going in a door, 18 by 18 is going to be quite enough, large enough, or small enough. But with 70 pieces, it's going to be quite rigid. So enjoy yourself, Tim. That sounds like a fun project. Don't forget to send it into the viewer showcase when you're finished with it.
Tim also has a follow-up question. Starting point, middle and work out, or square bottom left-hand corner, which will have a square?
Well, yeah, this is if you're left-handed, start in the left-hand corner and work your way out. Your last piece should be your top right-hand corner. This is just me. Put it together. But if you're doing copper foil, it needs to go together and then framed in so that everything is snug, and then you can start soldering. The only reason you would start in the corner,
in the middle,
in the middle, I'd put it all together. You never start anything in the middle, and don't solder anything until the window's completely together. Box it in with a framing like a jig. Box it in so it can't move, and then solder it. No reason to start in a corner, start soldering, because you need to make sure that it's going to go in the area that you're have it cut for, and put those blocks, around it. You're going to start out with a right angle in the corner, and then once you put your window tack, you don't even tack it. Just put all your pieces in there, square it up, and then close the other two ends, and then solder it. If you were doing lead, you would start in one corner and work your way up, but you're just doing copper foil. So put it all in that frame and then start to solder it.
Susan said the flower class Sunday was fantastic and lots of fun, and we got some new classes coming up in the fall, so stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah, we do. So we introduced 2 new classes yesterday during the class, and that's a great way for us because we do demonstrations in between, allowing 3 or 4, depending on how many students we have. Like tomorrow we have 15 coming in, and we're going to be doing 3 lots of 5, and then in between all that we'll be making a cup, a flower, and a big bowl when we're done. So, and then we make ornaments in the beginning as a demonstration to show the class the process. So we're looking forward to that. It should be fun.
Okay, we had a question in here.
Okay.
Oh, and also, Bobby wanted to know if I did add some color to my hair because it looks pretty.
I told Barb that people pay big bucks for that color. That's natural, y'all. She doesn't fool with color anymore.
I put some kind of rinse on it, and it's under these lights. It looks totally different. But
It
thank
does.
you
Yeah,
so
it is
much.
pretty.
It's not color; it's more my natural color back up. So I don't know if you all have gray hair, but if you don't use certain things, it turns like a blondie, brassy color.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this is natural here, and
So this is my natural color.
yeah.
But it looks a little blue under these lights, which is kind of weird.
oh, it's beautiful. I told her
Anyway,
it was
thank
beautiful,
you.
y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I'm glad she believes you. So
Okay, Doc Rocket wants to know, is there a type of glass or glass producer that's easier to cut than others? It's so frustrating to have my score not break properly.
well, here's the thing, and thank you. I think this is your first time here, Doc Rocket. Thanks for tuning in tonight. So most glasses today that are manufactured in this country are definitely annealed correctly. The easiest glass to work with, I think, is Wismac. And Oceanside is really a nice glass, but then the other glass, there's another glass that's easy to work with, and it's Bullseye. So tonight, during tonight's glass chat, I brought a piece of Bullseye home with me. I got a piece of Spectrum, which is old Oceans, or new Oceans. Oceanside is new. Spectrum, it used to be their former name. And I also have a piece of Wismac. So a lot of times what happens, Doc, is you change the pressure on your glass cutter while you're cutting, and you don't realize that it's kind of an indirect thing that you're doing. If you will train yourself to keep the same pressure from start to finish, you'll find that your scores will come out much better. And and it could be too that you're pressing too hard on your glass cutter, because it only requires about 8 pounds of pressure to depress the head on your glass cutter. And we'll talk a little bit about that during glass chat tonight too. And I did bring some pretty glasses.
Did you tell them about
home.
Bullseye?
Well, I did say Bullseye.
Okay.
Yeah, Bullseye glass. And I brought, because I said I brought some Bullseye home tonight. So I brought
Well, that's not as easy to cut though, is it?
well, this is with the stringers in it. It's really not too bad.
Okay.
But and a lot of times too, Doc, if your glass is textured on one side, it's typically bumpy or woo on the other side. So when you're doing that, if you're trying to cut too fast, you are leaving skips because you're going over and under, on bumps. But we can talk about that a little bit more extensive into the glass chat tonight. So
Thank
that's
you,
a good
Pauline
question.
and Susan. I have more compliments on my hair.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been
I
telling
told
me
her.
all day. Okay, thank you
told
so
her.
much.
That's a
not
good
here for my
question,
hair,
Doc.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah, so your hardest glasses, though, Doc, are going to be Yakagani, Oceana, and that's about it. Yakagani and Oceana, because they've tried to mimic Tiffany glasses, and y'all, I've got some beautiful Yakagani glass in the shop now that I'm unpacking, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I've got about 450 10 by 12s of just about every color that they make.
Barbara Cadwell said Yakagani can be as stubborn as a teenager.
I hear you, or two. You're
Or
right, Barbara.
teenage twins.
Yeah, teenage twins. You're right. Yeah, it can be very.
And Ed's haircut is fabulous too.
Oh,
That's
thank
Susan.
you.
said
She is way kind. You
Well,
guys are.
Susan said it, but I
you're
said it
kind
too. It does
Hey,
look
it
good,
helped
doesn't it?
yesterday. It was hot in the hot shop yesterday, y'all. It was 80 degrees outside here, and it was pushing 100 in the glass blowing studio yesterday afternoon. So.
Barb Greco said that she enjoyed the class. It was fabulous and could not wait for the vase, paperweight, and bowl. Are you doing a bowl class too?
I think we are, yeah, eventually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, they're in charge. I don't have any input on
Well,
that.
Taylor
at
and I
all.
we're really having
Taylor
fun,
and he are doing all that. So
we're getting our, we finally have finished our public art project, and we'll be installing that on the 24th of this month.
Yeah.
We've got that scheduled now, so that's great. Yeah, we confirmed our schedule, so we're good.
what company? Pauline wants to know what company made cat's paw in the past.
Kokomo has made cat's paw, and from what I understand, they ran a little bit of cat's paw last week. So
Yeah.
And that's the cat's paw is a texture. And now when you're cutting cat's paw, is a little difficult to cut. You talk about something that can be a little bit frustrating. We use a green cat's paw in the Brook Green Gardens project. In the opening of the video, you see the window where Barb and I are standing on the scissor lift. There's a lot of cat's paw in that window, and fortunately, they were all in leaves, so they were small pieces. But we're cutting big pieces of cat's paw can be a little frustrating as well, even for myself. So,
Deborah wanted to know if I was going to demonstrate the hand foiler tonight. I am not, but there is a video on YouTube by the people that make that.
Make it, yeah.
Make it. It's creators.
Yeah, creators.
And they have a really good video on it. There's some really bad videos on it.
Yeah, and there's one video that
like ours was last week.
Yeah, that video I did. Hey, y'all.
But we couldn't get it situated here.
Yeah, this desk is so. Anyway, it's not where it needed to be. And do not, if you're going to use your hand foil, do not put it in a foil caddy.
Right.
Because it's easier.
But you can attach it to your table.
With a
and so
clamp.
we'll do a little video on that. But it'll have to be a separate video. We couldn't figure out how to get it
Yeah,
all.
because we don't have any room to clamp the piece onto the table. But that, to me, when you clamp that hand foiler to the table, that what it does is it allows it to be just like the tabletop foiler that Glass Star used to make. And it works really well, and you can keep even pressure on it. So I'm faster with my hands, y'all. But I think it's great that if you're doing a lot of pieces, you could use that hand foiler, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I should have practiced it before I showed it to you. But it's live, so you know what happens. Sometimes things mess up. We did a TV show 2 weeks ago, and the TV hostess was making a glass flower, and it got away from me and her, and it ended up being just a piece of blue glass. But it was live television, so I mean, it is what it is. And but we had a good time no matter what.
Right.
Right, and you guys can see I don't get frustrated with stuff like that because it's just something else. You just move on and go about it and do something else.
So we'll be. Creators Handy Foiler. Yeah.
Thank you, Ray.
Tutorial is there, and it's
premium.
excellent. I can't do it that well. I mean, they made it. They should know how to show it.
Yeah.
So watch that, and they got a lot of great tools, and we have them on our Amazon page as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do.
So, let's see. Barb said Taylor is great to work with and super with the colors.
Yep,
Yes, he is.
He is.
So,
Yeah.
they make a great team, and if you take a class, you'll really enjoy it.
Well, we try to make it fun, keep everybody from getting hurt, and we have a lot of fun. So that's really what it's all about. And you learn quite a bit, I think. So.
Okay. If you have a question, just put it in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer.
Sally or Pauline, cat's paw is Kokomo.
Oh, you didn't say.
Yeah, and if you got a lot of Kokomo, good for you because
they're not making.
They're not making a whole lot of glass. Right, they're making it. They're just not making it fast enough to ship it to distributors. That's all.
I think they're shipping it to like one distributor. The distributors that we get glass from
can't get it.
Been
waiting 3 years for a tractor trailer load. So, that's
bless
pretty
them.
slow manufacturing.
God bless them.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, Wismac, boom, they're on it. I hear Armstrong's running new batches of new colors.
Really?
And so we're looking forward to that. And Armstrong's a really nice glass to work with. And so you got Armstrong, Bullseye, Wismac, and Oceanside. So check them out. Oceanside, you pay for fusible glass because that's all they make, and you can still, whether it's fusible or not, you still use it in your stained glass windows. Just know that you're paying for fusible glass when you buy Oceanside. That's all.
Okay, guys, if you want to look at the classes that we have ongoing throughout the year, go to the ConwayGlass.com website, sign up for the newsletter. I'll be working on a new newsletter. It'll be coming out in the next week or so, and I'll be adding some classes. Also, while you're there, check out the patterns page. I don't have any new patterns, but all patterns are free. So there's, maybe 5 or 6 little patterns.
So grab them.
So they'll always be free. Any patterns we put on our website will be free.
And we'll be adding to them.
We'll be adding to them. They're simple patterns. They're not, most of the work that we do are big, huge patterns. But
Right.
our beginners and people that do it as for gifting and for shows and that kind of things, use those patterns as you want to. They're free, and you can use them as you'd like.
And when you take a class, I supply you with a small portfolio of easy to do beginner patterns that you can take home with you too.
That's part of what we do, and so grab one of those free patterns,
some
or
of those
grab
patterns,
all of them.
Yeah, some of those patterns were designed by Pops, my dad,
And we'll
before
be
he
putting
passed.
some of those on the
and we'll be putting them
website.
on. So
I
yeah,
had
you
someone
guys,
from China grab all.
there are no secrets.
Yeah, I had someone from China grab 5 of them.
Well, that's all right. We understand how that goes. They'll be
Yeah.
in a book before too long.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Have at it, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing is.
If you can sleep at night and do that, you go right ahead.
Yeah, no,
I'm just
they're
kidding.
just simple patterns.
Yeah,
and-
I'm glad that y'all like them, and they're free. So.
Yes, so we're happy to do it.
Yeah, we are. So go to the website at ConwayGlass.com, and to look at the classes, just click on the classes page, right, Barb?
Yes.
And that'll drop down, and
Workshops.
it's all right there.
It's under
Is
workshops.
workshops? Okay.
Yeah, so that's our February special because we love you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the patterns, didn't you say, was the heart box?
Yeah, the heart box
Valentine's
pattern.
box.
And that's pretty good because it's got the instructions and it goes with the video that tells you about making the glass box. So you can watch the video on making the heart glass box.
right. I forgot,
And
yeah.
then you can make the box
box
from the
itself,
pattern.
yeah.
So it's a pretty good little package.
And it teaches you how to cut a heart.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Teaches you how to cut a heart. Yeah, last week I think I was trying to cut a heart. And of course, there you go, live TV. I messed that one up too.
But I did put a video out about cutting a heart. I hope you guys saw it and you can use that this month.
Right, and that heart was successful. So
Yeah. I don't think that was from the, because when on the video, you tap it. In the heart box video, you tap it.
yeah, I
And
think
in
so.
this video I just put out last week, you actually cut it out and show how to
And
cut
chase the run around.
Yeah, chase the run and that.
So don't forget,
and relieve
guys.
it, yes.
Yeah, when you trace the run and pull it down and away, you're on it.
You're on it.
That's right.
So Ray put up the ConwayGlass.com
Thank you,
link,
Ray.
and so you can go right there after the video.
After the video.
Here's a question. I'm doing 3 lead pieces 9 by 19 for my kitchen door. 9 inches by 19 inches.
Uh-huh.
Can I just set them in the window as I would a frame, no zinc?
No, because of as soon as they get warm, they're going to sag. So you need to put them in a frame,
Put them in zinc.
put them in zinc, and then you need to put them. Are you gonna put them actually in the door? And you have 3 panels, 9 by 19. That sounds like an old wooden door, doesn't it?
Yeah. Can I just set them in the window?
Yeah,
as
but I don't know if
would
you
a
could,
frame.
you should. Yeah, but you should use some sort of a molding to hold them in,
Yeah.
because otherwise they're gonna. But you don't need to reinforce something 9 by 19 though. You're fine.
Yeah, but I would put zinc or lead around the outside border.
And then install it so that you had your molding from your door around it. Yes.
Okay, New Mexico. We have a lot of new people just popped in. West Virginia.
Hey.
So welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome. Boy, West Virginia got a big shout out last night at the Super Bowl game with little John Denver going.
Kelly, you won something last week too. I can't remember what she won.
I don't remember, but Kelly, if you haven't sent us your shipping
think
information,
we have it.
you have
Yeah,
it? Okay,
yeah.
it's done. All right.
Okay,
Yeah, because all those
congratulations.
packages are going out tomorrow, so get
Yeah,
ready.
they're all going out tomorrow. Everything is going out tomorrow. Okay.
Larry Mary's in the house. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry, New Mexico was
Thanks
here.
for tuning in.
Okay, Cindy has a question.
Okay.
In cutting super thin picture glass to replace broken huge lantern glass, can you give any advice as to why 2 out of 3 pieces when cut fray off in the middle when trying to break it clean?
It sounds like you when you're scoring it, you're leaving a skip there. That's the only reason it would go. Either that or your cutter's got a skip in it. There's no reason if you score any glass correctly, whether it's window pane glass or art glass or anything other than tempered glass, unless there's a skip in it, it usually follows the score, because that's the whole thing about scoring the glass is it's a consistent score where you're separating the molecules on the surface of the glass, and then when you run that out, the run follows the separation of the molecules.
Okay, Cindy, if it's a big piece of glass, do you have enough reach to keep that consistent pressure all the way on the glass? If it's a straight line, are you pulling it towards you, and are you using a straight edge?
A straight edge, yes.
Because if it's big and you kind of don't have enough room, or you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well,
you won't have the same pressure, and you'll kind of let up on it and let back down, and that could be
Right.
it.
And I tell people all the time when they're having trouble cutting glass, Barb, is because you're cutting glass and you're right up against the table. When you pull your cutter back to you, usually when it gets closer to you, you let up because it's getting more in the way. It's getting more like, in the way right here. So what I tell people to do is while you're scoring, as you come down, take a half a step back from the table and don't let up on the pressure and continue to cut the glass, and usually it'll work out a lot better for you. But otherwise, there really shouldn't be, if
Make
it's a
sure
big
you have
piece.
consistent pressure and you're not pressing too hard.
Right. Because, if you're doing
Because
window
it's
pane,
thin.
it's 3/32 of an inch thick. It's pretty thin. But, with your glass cutter, you should, unless it's got a skip in it, there's no reason for it to, frare off to one edge or the other, because it's going to its weakest point because it's missing. There's a gap there, and it's going one way or the other. So.
She's using the down and away method. If
it's
the
too
score,
big,
if the score is not good, it doesn't matter how you're breaking it.
Right. Your score has to be consistent. And the other thing is if it's a much larger piece, you can't just pick it up like that because you're putting too much pressure on it, and it's doing this. So if the piece is large, hon, what you want to do is you want to score it, bring it to the edge of the table, and pop it. If it's big,
Turn
you
it
can't
and pop it.
turn it and pop it. You can't take a large piece of glass and go like that. Even with window glass. Window glass will flex a little bit, but I always pop my window glass on the edge.
Also, you might just want to use your runners.
Right, and your running pliers for your stained glass they're going to run something that's about 20 inches long or something before you run out of pliers.
I don't know how huge.
Yeah,
it
about 20 inches. But if you'll pull it to the edge, turn it around, pull it to the edge, and set the score. Now don't let it down. Hold it up and set the score right just on the edge of the table, and just pop it and hold on to it. It'll come off in your hand. I don't have my camera set up tonight where I can show you how to do a pop, but we do have videos in the back where we're cutting bigger glass and we're putting it on the edge of the table and we're popping it. Is that right, Barb? Don't we have some videos on that?
Not using a straight edge.
Oh,
And
you
you
gotta
cut
have
from the bottom to the top. Is it a straight piece of glass?
That's,
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
probably the problem.
Yeah, you want to go from the top
To the
towards
bottom
you.
and
Try
use
to
a
keep
straight
that
edge.
consistent pressure and use a straight edge.
Right.
I think you'll be more successful.
Yeah, because the straight edges at the shop, we have straight edges from. This is our small one is only this big, right here, and it's for cutting borders and church windows. But then our straight edges go all the way up to 144 inches, so we can cut just about anything. And then we have what we call we have our little a straight edge holder. It's got a vacuum cup on it, and you flip it over, and it allows you to cut large glass by yourself. So,
Bobby made 2 heart boxes last year.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Filled
get
with
a straight
candy
edge,
kisses.
guys.
Oh, good, Bobby.
If you don't
Great
have a straight
idea.
edge, make sure you get one. So.
Mary Beth wants to know, do we have videos of cutting larger pieces? Yes, we do.
Yeah, and then I think one day next week, Barbara's going to come into the shop, and we're going to do videos on cutting up art glass in from large sheets to halves to quarters.
Yep.
Soon as we have to.
That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. So I've got some Kokomo that or some Wismac and Kokomo we're going to be cutting up. But more than anything, I have some vintage, and I'm gonna highlight vintage spectrum glass that's going in the racks in the retail shop at the studio. So if you guys are close enough to drive down and see us, we'd love to meet you. And also, we have a really nice selection of vintage spectrum glass and vintage Yakagani, and also vintage Oceanside. So.
We sure do. Okay, I think it's time for the glass cutting demo.
Yeah, so
Did I get all the questions answered?
I don't know. Let's make sure.
Mary Beth wants to know, do we have videos? Yes. And Ray just put a short there, 2 shorts, and
On cutting heavy glass.
and a video on cutting bigger pieces
Bigger
of glass.
pieces, yeah.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. See, guys, I'm telling you, Ray works really hard for us, and we appreciate everything that you do, Ray. We really do.
Yeah, I had a really nice compliment from another YouTuber that said that thought that we had a production company that did our videos, and I thought that was a great compliment. Thank you very much.
Is.
I appreciate
the
that.
production company, guys.
We don't.
Is your
It's us.
Well, it's us, but the reason that we have nice equipment is because of your super chats and your super stickers.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do this. We put all this right back into what we're doing.
Everything we make.
Everything we make, we put back in. So, and you know what? And the thing that we put in the most is love.
Yeah, lots of love.
Lots of love, guys. Let me tell you, it doesn't happen without that.
Okay.
So yeah, let's do a glass thing, and
Okay.
so we're gonna.
What we doing?
Let's see what we got here.
What kind of tools you
here's my
using
tools.
today?
Okay, so these are my Lepinette. These are my Lepinette grousers, and I have my silver snits, but I'm going to leave my Lepinette runners out. And I have my square here. This guys is again, and I can't. This is a Glass Star, so we know this is pretty old because their factory went south, and they never decided to reopen it, and they actually caught on fire. And so what we want to do, if you don't have one of these little squares, we have them on our Amazon page. If you come into the shop, I've got them in inventory now. It's just things that we have at the shop we can't ship all the time because we don't have a shipping department that can actually take care of that in a timely fashion. So what I want to show you guys is that you can see what this square does. Now this is the Bullseye I was telling you all about. This is a stringers. Bullseye makes these stringers in every color. Oh guys, thank you so much. Here we go. Thank you, Barbara. So here we go. Let's get Barbara's light going, get it dancing in the corner. Okay. And Deborah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And if you have a question after the demo, we'll be glad to answer it.
We sure will.
Thank you,
guys.
Deborah, and thank you, Barbara, for being here every week and supporting our channel.
I know. We get a list of and how many times everybody shows up for the live chats, and a lot of y'all are 100%, and we appreciate that so much.
Thank you so much. It's very appreciated.
So hey, before we get started with our glass cutting, if you haven't had time to give us a thumbs up on our channel, all of that matters. And if you do like what we're offering you, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And guess what, guys? I didn't check it out, but maybe Ray can throw a number up there because he can see it without us leaving the screen. But I think we're at 34,900 and maybe 50 or 55. So we're getting ready to hit 35,000 subscribers this week, y'all, and we could not do that without you. So let's cut some glass.
Okay,
There
let's
we
go
go.
back.
All right, so this is my personal glass cutter, guys. Look at this thing. This thing is like, woo! I cut everything with it, and so you can see daylight through the back of my cutter. That means it's clean. This I have a 140-degree angle wheel, and this bullseye, this stringers. Let me flip it over and I'll show you. This is the back side here. So you can kind of, you see it's kind of bumpy like right here. And that's the way this glass is. This is a fusible glass, but it also does a lot of things in your stained glass window. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to use our square, and it's very important. And I will say this, there's nothing wrong if you score and you push. But I'm going to tell you, if you use a square and you start up here and you pull your straight lines, pushing patterns is awesome. And to me, that's the only way to do it. But using your square, when you pull like that, you're in total control of what's happening with what's going on. So first thing we wanted to do is we just wanted to square that up. Now you can see, this is what's so cool about this glass, is you can see the stringers inside the glass. Look at them. Isn't that cool? Oh. So they're rolled in it and right on top of it, and you can feel them, okay? Some of the other glasses that we have, the stringers, you can actually just touch them. You know, they're really, really pretty. So anyway, this is a great glass to work with. It does a lot of things. And they make it in colors so that you can create flowers with it. You can create trees. You can do all kinds of stuff. Well, and then the other thing is now, there we go. Now this piece of glass is going to be square when I get done with it, except for this edge right here. And we're going to square that up. But listen, if I go across this too fast, it goes da-da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes I could get a skip. My cutter, I just depress the head, listen. And pull. And you keep that 8 pounds of pressure that it takes to depress the head. And I know that's a fact because our dear friend, I am Alan, is an engineer. And that's exactly what it takes, he said, 8 pounds of pressure. So what you can do, now we're going to square this up. And then we're going to talk about cutting points, y'all. If you have taken the time, look at that. Now that's absolutely, that's a pretty piece of glass.
That'll make a pretty box.
That would be. Stringers make beautiful boxes because you can make them all go in and everything like that. So I've got my grousing pliers here. And a lot of times when you're cutting points, and we're going to take this and if you've taken the time to draw a point in your window, then take the time to cut it and do it so that the point stays there. Now, most of the time, if you grab it with your grousing pliers and your knuckle, if you pull down too hard with your grousing pliers, it's going to stay to the left. But if you pull down with your knuckle, it'll stay to the right, and you'll be able to get that point. So remember, let's try it. Just like that. So I think with this one, I cut it a little bit, it's too wide for my grousing pliers, but make sure that your line's in the center, and this is going to pull down, and this should go right out to the very edge. Right out to the edge. So if you've taken the time to draw a point, cut it. You got a little bit of grinding to do right there, and then you, my friend, are all set. So now what we're going to do is I'm gonna slack that up a little bit right there, and we're gonna cut this into another point. Want to make sure we're right here, just like that. I'm going to grab my point, changing hands here. And I'm not going to go right to the very edge here. I'm going to pull.
Go up.
I'm using my knuckle underneath, And I'm just holding the glass with my grousing pliers. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to pull down and away. Now, when I did that, you see that point? It's right there. Y'all, if you have taken the time to draw a point in your stained glass window, take the time to cut it so that it looks exactly the way you want it. So this is like a little beacon in a lighthouse. That's really pretty. Mm-hmm. So this glass is very unusual. It's fun to work with. And when you're cutting points, what happens on the point is it tries to run itself to its weakest point. Its weakest point is where you're using the most pressure. And remember, and I've said this a lot, and you just hold the glass in place with your grousers, and you use your other hand to break it. Now that's just my technique. It might not work for some of you. Some of you might say, "Oh, damn, Ed's friggin' crazy," but I'm not. I use that method, and I've used it for 43 years. So, and I've cut a lot of glass, guys. And so if you'll do that, and again, you use your grousing pliers so that, thank you, Barb, so that it just holds the glass. That's it. That's all it's doing. It's just holding it in place for you. And then, your knuckles are getting underneath of it, just like that. Let's cut one more piece. I'm going to take this piece of glass right here. On February the 28th, somebody's going to get that piece of glass.
Well, the drawing is March the 3rd.
March the 3rd, that's right.
But you have to be a member as of February 28th. So
right.
If you're a member as of February 28th, you will be
in the drawing for the new box of glass. So this is a Wismac, y'all. I don't have the part number for it because I left it at the shop, and I apologize. But this is a Wismac. And I want you see all these colors in here? See how pretty that is? And if you look on the side, all of those colors are stacked up in there. And I want you to hear this. I was really thinking that this piece of glass, you would hear the score very confidently as you scored it. But I want you to listen to this. It's gonna sound like it's skipping because some of this part of this glass is soft and part of this glass is stiff. And like this pink, that's stiff, this white, this yellow with the white in it, they're stiff colors. So listen, I'm gonna depress the head. Then I want you to the score isn't gonna be completely gone, but you're only gonna hear it in certain spots. Here we go. Depress the head. Don't change your pressure because you can't hear it. Because you can't hear it is just because of the way the glass is made. I'm using my running pliers, my lepinets, and we're going to run this out and chase it just like that. Do you see that run? We're chasing it. But I think that Doc was saying, some glasses are hard to cut, some glasses are easy to cut. This glass right here will fool you because you're going to think that it's not working exactly the way that you want it to. So we're going to come back over here, and I want you guys to listen to this. We're going to cut like a pattern. We're going to go from top to bottom. I'm going to depress the head. All right, so when I got to that little hole there, you heard it, right? Woo! Drive out of it, guys. Don't play around. So now we're going to take our grousing pliers, and I'm going to put my knuckle right underneath the score here, and we're going to pull down, and we're going to start that run. And you guys can, well, gosh, with this glass, you can see it really well. It's right there. So now I'm going to move my right hand up. I'm going to take my grousing pliers and get behind the run. Don't get in front of it because then you're trying to break it two different directions. What you want to do, this is what we talk about when we're chasing the run. The pliers are just holding the glass, see? Just holding it. I'm right behind my run, right there. I've got my index finger is extended now, and we're going to pull down. And we just ran that again. Now, you don't have to chase the run like that, but I'm going to tell you, if you pull down on it, jerk on it, and try and pull it too fast, more than likely, you're going to think your score is messed up, but all it is you're pulling down too hard, and it's pulling to its weakest point. So here we go. We've got one more pull, and we're just holding on to the glass, extending my index finger, and we're going to pull down and away, just like that. So, guys, that's what I mean by chasing the run. And this glass is so annealed so well. We're gonna do this. Just depress the head. Oh, another hole. Drive out. There we go. And now I'm going to try it with my knuckle, and we're going to pull down. See that? There's a hole right there. We'll turn it around. I don't think the running pliers are wide enough or small enough to do this, but let's see. There you go, just like that. It's a very nice glass to work with. You're not going to hear it when you cut it, but don't be frustrated because this is a Wismac, and Wismac has their stuff together, and their glass is really, really nice to work with. So let's just do one more score on this. Except we're going to use a piece of glass that more than likely you're not going to hear the score at all. And because this is a very dense opal, I'm getting my marker out. And I'm going to get my marker out for one simple reason. I'm not going to be able to see the score on this mint bullseye right here, okay? So I'm going to take this, we're going to score it, depress the head. You're not going to hear it. I'm going to put a mark right there.
Ooh, 5 memberships.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Paul.
So here we have right here, this is our score right next to that black line, and we're going to get our running pliers and pull. Now, I want y'all to see this too. You don't have to use the depth of this jaw. What you need to do when you're using your running pliers, everyone, is just go into the pliers the depth of the rubber grommets on the end. And guys, please don't use these pliers for grousing pliers or for breaking pliers. They're done for running pliers. And next week, I'm going to introduce to you a plier that's called a breaking plier. And what it does is it adds one more set of pliers to your tool arsenal that are used for a very specific reason.
Okay, I wanted to thank Paul for his gifted memberships.
Oh, Paul, thank you.
Ryan Hunt, Karen Bond, Cincinnati Drew, Andrew Moore, and Beth Ann Johnson all got memberships.
Oh, good deal. Welcome aboard, guys.
Welcome aboard, and you'll be included in the giveaway for the first Monday in March, which is March the 3rd. And how you register for that? How do you register for that? You go to Viewer Showcase
at gmail.com
and just put yes, put me in the drawing.
Yep.
And we'll add you to the list, and you'll be in the drawing for the March giveaway. If you already put in for the February giveaway, you still need to put in for the March. So go ahead and go to Viewer Showcase.
Yep.
And say yes.
Yeah, please do. Paul, thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying your stay where you are, and we look forward to seeing you in March, my friend.
Yes. Okay. Do you have another?
Well, I brought another piece of glass, and it's kind of, to me, I can share this with you guys. This is a vintage Spectrum. This is a 132nd, but a 136 wispy. This is a opal. This is the 136 is the blue, the density of the blue, but it's iridized. And I'm just going to cut a small piece of this because I don't know if Magali's in the house tonight.
She is.
Hey, girl. I'm just going to cut a small strip of this, I promise you. But I want you to hear, because the question came up that somebody wanted to know what glasses are easy to work with. this is Spectrum. I want you to hear this. Listen to how soft the, well, and it would be called Oceanside now. All the same numbers. This is a 136. 136 is the darkest blue that they make. And then they go down 34, 32, and 30. And here we go. Depress the head. You hear how soft that is? I mean, that's as soft as it gets, guys. So we'll take our running pliers and we'll put it right on there and just make sure we center our score. And there you go. You can see that. I'm in the middle. And, oh, when that breaks, doesn't that light just like drive you crazy? It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Golly said, straight in the box, Ed.
It is, baby.
So don't cut it.
Okay.
Put it straight in the box.
Okay.
If you say so.
If you say so, Magali. And then later on, I'll share another piece of glass, a piece of water glass with you, which is also an Oceanside, and it's really a pretty aquamarine blue. So.
Well, why don't you do it now, because it's 10 minutes to 8 already.
What? Okay. Okay. Well, I did this. I brought this, and I'm just gonna cut it up a little bit, and I want you to take a look at this. I'll set it on this white paper here, and you can see how pretty it is. Okay. So they actually classify this as a sky blue, but this is not a 130. This is I don't have the part number, but it is a water glass. Let me tilt it so you can see it. It's definitely a water glass. There we go. And it is an Oceanside. But I'm gonna, again, if you're worried about glasses that are hard to cut, this Oceanside is very soft. I classify it as a soft glass because it doesn't matter how when you score it, you're gonna hear the score on this. Listen, here we go. You hear, that is a soft glass, y'all. So what we'll do is we'll just take this, and you can break this with your grousing pliers. But again, remember what you want to do is put your grousing pliers about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge down here, the bottom of your score, and we're going to use our knuckle right here underneath, and we're going to use our right hand here, and we're going to pull down and away. So by pulling down, but I want you to see this. By using your grousing pliers on that area, you create a flare. See it? You create a flare. So let's score that one more time, and we'll use our running pliers, and we'll see the difference. Okay? Because when you're using your grousing pliers, it's almost as if you're not putting. Well, you're not. You're not breaking it in the center of the line. You're breaking it off to the left or the right, depending on your hand. So. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to take our runners now, our Lepinette runners. And guys, remember, we've got these in inventory now. They came in today. You can go to our website at conwayglass.com, and we'll set that. Now, because my running pliers went in the center of the line, and when they broke, that came down and it gave us a perfectly straight line, as opposed to using our grousing pliers and creating a flare. See it? You can see the reflection right there. So if you can use your running pliers, make sure that you use them. And if you need to use your grousing pliers, just make sure that it's a narrow enough piece that a flare is not going to affect you anyway. So.
We had a question about the water glass. Do you cut the water glass on the reverse side, which I guess they're saying
no, you cut it on the top. You cut it on the water glass side.
Cut it on the water glass side.
On the wavy side, and you cut it slow and deliberate.
Cindy asked, sometimes you score from the bottom to the top and then the top to the bottom. Is there an advantage to either way or type of glass being cut?
No, when I score from the bottom to the top, I'm cutting a pattern, I'm pushing. I never use my square and cut a straight line by pushing. I do not do that. I don't cut a straight line by pushing. I cut a straight line by pulling, and if Barbara will tune in over here, we will cut a That's a pretty piece of glass. Look at that, y'all.
Gorgeous.
Right? You like that? Look at that.
Oh my.
Oh
Yes,
my!
don't cut that.
Look at that. So if I'm cutting a pattern, and well, let's just do this. Let's just cut a pattern. Let's just cut a pattern. So when I'm cutting, if I was cutting a pattern and I was pulling it like this, personally, I can't see through my wrist. I just can't do it. So, but what I do is I'll depress my head. And now I can see everything in front of me. Just like that. And I'm going to tell you all this too. Cutting glass sitting down is not the way it's supposed to be done. It's much more difficult. You have less control, and you really should be standing up when you're cutting glass. So we're going to take this. Now remember, I started here, I came off here, so I'm turning it around. I'm going to break it from here. I'm going to try and do it as gently as I can. And I've started my run, okay? So here we go. My run's just right here. Let me make sure I've got that where everybody can see it. Is that good, Barb?
Yes.
And I'm just chasing my run. Okay. So my run is right here. I've got it coming down here. So I'm going to move this over here. Just like that. I'll pull down and away. So I chased it down to here, and then I just pulled down. And this, when I say down and away, guys, when you pull down with a pair of pliers in your hand, when it comes apart, you automatically pull away. So the down and away thing is, it makes a cool t-shirt. Check out our t-shirts where they're down and away and you're chasing the run. And because they're conversation pieces, everybody will say, "What do you mean chase the run?" But that's good. So this is actually bullseye, y'all. So you talk about somebody that makes a lot of beautiful colors, bullseye. And so now we're going to square this back up. Listen to how soft this is. Oh, it's so soft. So I'm going to take this, and now you can break this with your fingers just like this. Put your two knuckles together underneath the score and pull down and away, just like that. Boom, okay? Just like that. So again, once you pull down, your fingers automatically separate and it pulls it away from you. So it's not like it's a trick or anything. It's just how it works. Right?
That's right.
That's a beautiful piece of bullseye, and it's in the box, everybody, along with this beautiful water glass. And I would say the glass that I have the most problem with cutting, Barb, is probably Oceanside's Baroque. That's a really tough glass for anybody to cut.
Good name for it.
Yeah, because it could go Baroque all over the place.
Okay. Tim wants to know, are the pliers you're showing the breakers you're showing next week, are they going to be on our Amazon page? Yes.
No. They won't be on our Amazon page. They'll be on our Conway Glass page.
Okay.
Yeah, because I purchased them, and I want to share that pair of pliers with you, and they're called breaking pliers.
Okay. All right. I'll get a photo of them and get them up on the Conway
I'll
Glass
get 'em
page.
unpacked.
All right. Get them unpacked.
I got to get them unpacked.
Okay. So we're stocking more and more supplies every day. We don't ship them out, but you can certainly come to Conway Glass in Conway, South Carolina, and
Right.
come purchase some. We're open on Wednesday from 10 to 4, and we're 30 minutes from Myrtle Beach. Open every Wednesday.
Did you hear Miss Mary? She
I
said,
hear, and
"Oh."
she has been a good girl
She is
tonight.
being so big
She's
tonight,
getting bigger
y'all.
every week. She's getting to be a bigger girl, and a good girl. She is. Switch said they began the stream and learned something new in 30 seconds, and says it's a great stream. Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you for the compliment.
Are there different another question, are there different widths of running pliers?
Well, there are, or there used to be anyway. Typically, right now, you're going to get this is 13/16 on the jaw. right here. This is the width on this is 13/16. Way back in the day, y'all, there was a stained glass artist who had a show on PBS named Judy Payne, or Vicky Payne, and Vicky had her own pliers made. Now these jaws are 5/8. I only own 3 pair of these green pliers, and I've looked all over for them, and you can't find them. So that's why I really don't use them on camera. But and then you have the metal running pliers, or the steel running pliers, the 8-inch ones. Okay, these are 6, and they make the 8-inch ones. I don't think I have a pair here, but yeah, the 8-inch ones, the jaw is about 1 inch and 1/8. So it's just 1/4 of an inch wider than this. They're a little more cumbersome, but if you've got big hands, they're not a bad plier to use. But I prefer to use the Leponettes because they fit in my hand well, they do a great job, and they're reasonably priced.
I don't know if you can hear Mary crying in the background, but she's whining like it's 8 o'clock, Mom and Dad.
She's so funny. You know, she knows when it's Monday night. She gets settled in. She knows she's going for a WALK. And then she also knows that she's getting a beautiful, one of Ray's beautiful treats that he sends her on Monday night for Monday night.
She's
so
spoiled. But she's getting
spoiled.
better. She's being good.
And Pauline, she enjoys the biscuits you sent her at the shop when she goes to work with us during the day. So.
Okay. So how do you measure the running pliers?
It's just these are 6.5 inches front to back, and then there's an 8-inch pair. Typically, the handle. The longer the handle, the 8-inch ones are going to be, like I said, the 8-inch ones are the relatively inexpensive running pliers, and when you use them, you'll see why that they're inexpensive. But if this is 8 inches, this jaw here is just a little bit wider. This is 13/16, and the jaw on the 8-inch pliers is about 1 inch and 1/8, I think. So it's about 1/4 of an inch wider. That's all. It's not too bad. And then your grousing pliers. This is a 3/8 jaw on these, on the width, and they're a little bit. They're better because I found that the inland grousing pliers have about a 7/16 wide jaw. So they're a little bit too wide and too cumbersome, I think. So I enjoy my Leponette tools, and that's just me. That's what I prefer to use, and these are tried and true. I cut a lot of glass, y'all.
Mary Beth wanted to know what that pastel green was. I'm sorry, I missed your question earlier.
That's a
Mary
bullseye. It's a bullseye lime. I don't have the part number, Mary Beth, but I'm pretty sure that I have some of it in stock, and this is a bullseye, and I believe it's called mint, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it is mint.
I believe it's called mint, huh?
And it has a little bit of
It has a texture top and bottom, but it's really nice to work with. It's very nice to work with. Just, Mary Beth, when you work with it, or if you come down to the shop and get some of it, what you want to remember when you're working with that glass, because you can't see the score when you're done, is to mark it before you either before you start or right after you finish while you're looking at your cutter head.
Cincinnati Drew said Vicky Payne has great patterns for little houses to make villages.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I haven't seen her shows were back. Oh, they were really big.
On PBS.
She was on PBS for years. Yeah.
Yeah, when that was the only kind of show we used to watch her from the River House.
Right. Yeah, we used to. That's right. And Bob the painter, man, he was on
PBS.
it. Bless his heart, PBS.
Before
so deeply
other
missed.
Channels.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to remind everybody about the giveaway, March the 3rd. Make sure you're a member by February 28th, so you're in the drawing. Send yes to Viewer Showcase.
At gmail.com.
And also, if you want to be entered in the Viewer Showcase, it'll be the same night. So that first Monday of every month is a pretty exciting night. We do the Viewer Showcase.
Right.
And send in your photograph. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to be a member for that. Just send in your photo and a brief description about your stained glass and why you
and your name.
And
please.
your name. Don't forget
Don't
your name.
forget your name, because we can't just call you Google.
Or I can give your email. If you don't want your name, I can always just put your email.
Yeah, or
up
just
there.
your first name. That's all. Just something, because I tell you, our community will definitely enjoy it, and we have a big night on the first Monday of every month. So.
Barbara can't wait for the lead class. Bobby says Vicky's shows are on YouTube.
Okay, well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
How
I didn't
about
know that, but wow, that's cool. Yeah, so these pliers she had made especially for her, and I had a friend of mine that had at one time he bought 500 pair of them, and at one time I had a dozen pair because I bought them for teaching classes. Well, over the years, they've got up missing. I own 3 pair now, and I hang on to them. And if you do take a class with us, sometimes you're lucky enough to be able to use them in the class, because that's where they are, except for the pair that I keep right here in my shoebox.
Okay, guys, the next live stream is on Monday night at 7 o'clock, February 17th, next Monday night.
That's right, guys. And all we can say to you is Happy Valentine's Week. Thank you for helping support the ARTyRV channel. Be safe, stay warm, and I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
Good night, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Week. See you next week. Bye-bye. Love y'all.